Okay, how are you guys doing? Thank you for watching. Here's what's on the bench today. It's a weird little Fernandes Traveler guitar. And yeah, it looks like a little, I don't know, it looks like a little animal of something, kind of a looking thing. And it's got a little built-in speaker right here. So when you hit this switch, the light's supposed to come on. And you're supposed to be able to hear it through this speaker. So, and some of these strings are like literally laying on the fretboard. So she needs some work. And that's what we're here to do today. We're going to work on this thing and see if we can get this thing to play. Now, first let's just pull this battery thing open. Okay. And let's pull this 9-volt out of here. Panasonic. And it's got all kinds of Japanese writing all over it. So this this battery's it's a long way from home. It's going in the trash. Let me see if I've got a battery. Just a dollar store alkaline battery. There's my front door. Let's stick this thing in here. Oh, I was hearing it. It's gonna work, I think. It's feeding back. Okay. This video is brought to you by Swiss Picks. It's not just a pick, it's a science. Available at ZIMM'S Guitars or at www.swisspicks.com. Alright, let me see if I can get, now it doesn't give me much wire to pull this out very far. Okay, there we go. Okay, and this thing is getting all fuzzy, so I think I'm going to trim some of the fuzz off of this. There we go. And let's see now. It'll just lay down in there. There we go. All right. Does it make noise? Cool. Let's pull the strings off of this thing, restring it, adjust these saddles. I don't think there's a truss rod on this little guy. The neck looks pretty flat, a little bit of back bow to it. Oh, I bet the truss rod adjustment is right in there in the heel. I suppose we could pull the neck off just to take a look. This headstock on this thing, really weird looking. Fernandes has been around for a long, long time, mostly out of Japan. So we went online and we were looking at photos of these things, and it is unbelievable how many different versions of this guitar was made all around Japan. Everybody had one of these things. Look at some of these photos right here. guitar right here is probably from, I'm going to guess it's the 80s or maybe the 90s, I think this one was built. Been around a long time. Fernandes guitars. There is a live Nirvana concert, and where Kurt was playing a Fernandes, a left-handed Fernandes. I don't know if he smashed it or not, but being that they are a Japanese brand, a lot of them made their way to Seattle. So Kurt probably got his out of a pawn shop up in Seattle, or somebody gave it to him or something. Because a lot of them are like $300 guitars. And again, they sort of, Seattle is like one of the closest U.S. ports to, Tokyo to Seattle, right? So I think that there was probably a lot of Fernandes stuff up there in Seattle, and there probably still is. And when you're on the east coast of the United States, they're probably a little bit harder to come by. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. It's probably my best guess, though, is that there's not that many of them over in New York and Pennsylvania and maybe Jersey and stuff. You maybe don't see that many of them up in the Boston area. Alright, we're going to take this back panel off here just to look under it. We're just going to examine this thing, kind of see what's going on. Now this guitar is a consignment item here at the store. So this one is for sale. And off the top of my head, I'm thinking that they are in the $300 neighborhood. There we go. Wow. Yeah, so just to get a good look back here, you can see it's got this little speaker. See, it's got all kinds of electronics, a little piece of foam right there to protect the electronics from the speaker magnet. There is nothing serviceable in here that I need to do to this. We're just kind of looking at it. There's a nice little circuit board screwed in right there. For some reason, it's missing the screw on this side. You know what? Hold on, okay. Should I put a screw in there to hold that down? It's missing that, but I guess I don't need to do that. It's got a little chip right there, which is unfortunate, and a couple of good scratches right there, which is also unfortunate. Sometimes you could take a little bit of red. It's kind of the wrong color, but I've got some red marking pen, but I already can tell that's way too bright of a red, and that's just going to make it stand out even more. You can also sometimes, I don't see it right now, but yeah, you can put a little bit of red fingernail polish on some of those dents sometimes. But yeah, we're just going to close this thing back up. It's working perfectly, no reason to mess with it. In the guitar vault today, we've got a Martin. This is a DRS2 made in Mexico. Beautiful sounding Martin guitar. I don't get them very often, but when I do, they're nice to have around the shop. Guys are asking for them all the time. This one is available. Come and get it. Alright, so since we're taking things apart to look at it, we might as well just lift the neck off of here. by just simply removing these 4 screws. There's a good chance that this neck has never been off of this guitar since it was built back in the day. Okay, what are we looking at here? NAT 20-30. Got some dust in here. So that's our truss rod adjustment right there. Now this is a short scale, so my notch straight edge doesn't fit on this one. But if I just take my regular ruler and set it on there, you can see it's got a ton of back bow. Okay, we are going to loosen this truss rod. Let me find the perfect size wrench that fits in there. I think that's it right there. So to tighten it, I would turn it this way. To loosen it, I'm going to turn it this way. There we go. Okay. A couple little tiny dents and dings back here. Goto tuners from Japan. That's another Japanese sign. The Goto tuners. But yeah, let's see if that little adjustment made any difference. It made a little, but not much. Let's do it one more time. There's a customer that just came in. It's just going to go as loose and loose as it'll go. It's a single action truss rod. So it's not going to loosen up by loosening that. It's just the nut's going to come off the end. So yeah, there's not much I can do to that thing to bring it back. But at least we loosened it a little bit, and I think once you get string tension on there, it'll be better. Okay, so we're looking at this neck, and the fret ends feel pretty good. We got a couple of high ones up in here. So I'm just going to take my StewMac fret file and kind of round over a couple of these a little bit. Got a little dent right there. Switch to lefty. Okay, good. Okay, a couple StewMac polishing cloths here. Just going to hit the frets. Do along the sides. A little finer grit here. The frets are all in really nice condition, little tiny frets on it. They didn't put big jumbo frets. That wasn't really a thing when this guitar was made. The only possible fret wear is maybe right here, a little bit on this second fret right there, a little tiny bit on the third fret. Yeah, but like I said, this guitar is for sale. It's on consignment. Okay, that's all we're doing to the frets. And then I'm going to take some Music Nomad F1 oil. We'll put some of that on here. Just a little bit on this neck. That ding dong was my front door, so I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, let's just go ahead and reinstall the neck. I'm not putting a shim or anything in it. Just going to screw it back on. There we go. And then I will tighten those back down nice and tight with just a regular screwdriver. Didn't put a shim in it or anything like that. Doesn't need that. I got a little bit of this Gibson polishing stuff, so we might as well kind of shine it up a little bit. We still got to adjust those saddles, but I'm going to wait until we get the strings on there. Okay, how's that? That's tight. Okay, let's grab some strings. So go ahead and roll the jingle. Today's string choice. Today's string choice, SIT, Stay in Tune, Power Wound, nickel 10 through 46. So we're going to put 10 gauge strings on this because this is a short scale. And 9 gauge strings would just kind of be flopping around on there. So you can put a little heavier gauge string on short scale guitars. It gives it a little bit more tension that way. Because 9s would feel really, really sloppy on here. The nut on this neck feels nice and tight. When you take your thumb and your finger and you feel the edge, it's nice and smooth. Seems like it's cut nicely, so we're going to leave the nut alone on this one. Very strange headstock on this guitar. The whole thing is just weird looking. But these things are sort of popular. I saw a video of a female Japanese artist, and she was playing one of these things, at least in the video. And I've also had, I've had some of these things before. I had, this is my second or third restring video on these little guys. One of them was a bass. I had one or two of them that were bass guitars. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these long strings here. Get those out of the way. Okay, and then this is a B string. Strings through the back of the guitar. And these SIT strings, they give you actually 8 strings in a pack. So you get a couple of extras. You get an extra high E string and you get an extra B string. So I always save that extra string, of course. I save all kinds of old parts and everything like that. For all my guitars that need fixed up and you need weird little parts. And a lot of you guys have been sending me old parts recently. So thank you guys so much for that. Every once in a while I'll get a little box in the mail and it'll have old guitar parts, odds and ends that you guys send me. And that is so cool, man. It's so fun to get a little box of parts in the mail. Alright, so I got strings on this thing. And again, it's got this little speaker in here. You turn it on. It cleans up if you turn the volume back. But one thing that I noticed just kind of messing around with it is it'll get feedback really cool. Yeah, so it's kind of feels like a little sustainer that is put in it. But also, if you plug it into an amp, and so when it's in the amp and you turn this speaker on, this speaker still works. But there you go, a fun little Fernandes. It looks like some sort of a little mousy looking elephant type of a guitar, but made in Japan, super fun, very versatile with the speaker built right in. And so there you guys have it. Go buy a guitar.